Some of you guys are not going to like this one.
3 fragrance mistakes that make you smell bad. What is this all about? Each point will speak for itself, so we don't have much of a preamble to give here, but what I will tell you is that I think that each point will get progressively more feather ruffling. So hold on to your feathers. Fragrance mistake number 1 that will have you smelling bad. Not bathing each day and using deodorant. I know there are differing personal philosophies on bathing frequency. I think most people like to bathe at least once a day. I know some people only bathe every few days. For the sake of simplicity, I say bathe at least once a day. Always use deodorant after bathing. In the hotter months, there's nothing wrong with bathing at least twice per day, especially if you're doing a lot of sweating and you're outdoors quite a bit. As someone who feels most alive and most like myself in the autumn, the only thing I love about the summertime is the fact that I can wear more than 1 fragrance per day. And that's due to the fact that I bathe multiple times per day during the summer. And again, always wearing deodorant as well. I don't really worry about scented versus unscented. I used to be very concerned with that in the past, but not really so much anymore. My fragrances will generally mask my deodorant if it does have a scent. Fragrance mistake number 2 that has you smelling bad. Overspraying strong fragrances. Again, I hope you're holding on to your feathers. This is the one that baffles me. Now, there's nothing wrong with wearing super strong fragrances, ones that are very noticeable, that last a very long time, especially when they have a particular function in your wardrobe. That being said, if every fragrance that you buy must be strong, I believe that you might have some self-image things to work out. Take that as you will. But hear me when I say this. Even with just 2 to 5 sprays of these 12+ hour high projecting fragrances will have everyone smelling you. Trust me. Spraying just that much of fragrances like this is the sweet spot, depending on the season and the size of the space you'll be in. But any more than that, 6, 7, some people do 10 sprays of everything, I encourage you to ask yourself why. I'm not asking you. I think you should ask you. Now, if the answer is it's only for you and your personal enjoyment, well, that's okay in my book, albeit very inconsiderate. I think there is a fine line between selfish and inconsiderate. And I generally believe that being selfish with your fragrances is usually okay because it doesn't necessarily negatively affect other people around you. For me, that is more in the type of fragrances that I choose to wear, more so than how much I spray. Selfishness, I might tie it to scent profile. Being inconsiderate is tied to spraying too much. But keep this in mind. If your top goal when you wear fragrance is to please others, when the average person says they don't like a fragrance, more often than not, it doesn't have to do with the scent itself. It's usually the potency. Most noses are turned off by obnoxious scents. So don't be that guy. And fragrance mistake number 3 that has you smelling bad. Wearing fragrances you don't care about. This kind of goes in line with a little bit of what we just talked about. Wearing fragrances you don't care about in order to please others. Of course, this doesn't actually make you smell bad. You're probably going to smell good to most people, but inside your self-image stinks. Purely wearing fragrances for compliments turns fragrances into a crutch that only temporarily enhances your self-confidence. It becomes a masquerade for who you want people to think you are. But wearing what you love doesn't just help your self-confidence, it serves your self-image, which means that you have no problem being you in any arena. This means you smell great to the core. When you love the way that you're representing yourself while treating others with respect, you walk taller and you make even more of an impact on people, whether or not people tell you you smell great. Now it's your turn to let me know what you think down in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. Let's of course be civilized. Let's be respectful. We don't need to make personal attacks. Let's just exchange our ideas. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.